Welcome to Broadstairs Life. Okay, welcome to Broadstairs Life, and today I'm sitting with Kerry.
Hello, Barry. You all right?
Hello, Kerry. You all right?
Very good.
I'm very good, yeah. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you doing this today. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. We've got an affiliation in our family with Broadstairs going back to the early 60s. My husband used to come here as a child from the Midlands with lots of other families, and it's always been in his heart. And when we were looking to move we were in suburban Kent. I mean, I was born in central London, but we lived in suburban Kent. And he was working on a project in Canterbury and just thought he'd have a little drive down the coast and see what Broadstairs was like, and it was exactly the same.
It's a bit like a lot of people do,
I
isn't
know.
it? Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of us come from that particular part of South London and suburban Kent. So we bought our first house down here about 30 years ago. And we were both working in town at the time. I worked in marketing. My husband's an architect and designer. We both worked in London and ran businesses there. Had our children there, and then just decided that we wanted to spend more time in Broadstairs.
Yeah.
So we moved down full time in 2012.
Right.
And bought this house and did work on this house. We love living where we live. So much so that we're building a house next door
Really?
for the next 20 years of our life, when our mobility is not as good as it is at the moment, but hopefully, you know. So we are wedded to this place. We love it.
Yeah.
We adore it. We love the community. So, and all the things that we learnt from our working life, we use as volunteers in various activities that we do to support and be with the community, really.
And you're involved in
I'm involved in
community.
quite a lot of community projects. I mean, the biggest one that most people will have heard of is Broadstairs Town Shed.
Yeah.
Which we launched in 2014. And it's in the same spirit of men's sheds that started in Australia in 1999, where a local government identified that very diverse and communities that couldn't come together needed to have a place where, in an informal way, health and wellbeing messages were given to them. So, you know, remote communities that in Australia. So, and woodwork and carpentry was the kind of catalyst for most of them in the first place, because, as the men's shed associations will say worldwide, and they are worldwide now, working shoulder to shoulder is the way that you get mostly men to engage with each other, because men don't yak as much as we do as women.
We are a strange breed, aren't we? Men?
But if you can find something that you love, that you all love, it's that kind of common ground that means that quite tricky conversations, whether that's about your health, your emotional or your physical health, or issues that affect you, you know, whether that's family related or whatever, there's someone else that's probably gone through exactly the same as you, and it normalises it.
Do you find, because of people doing the woodwork together, conversations naturally start?
Absolutely.
And that's when people do open up a little bit, don't they?
There are people that are members of our shed that have been with us since the beginning, that would never have had conversations about mental health, that would never have talked about their prostate with other people, because it was seen as a sign of weakness to actually say, I'm feeling great. You know?
But that's a sad thing, isn't it?
Very sad, but actually the great thing is more and more people, you know, it's much more normal now to hear certainly younger men talking about it, and when you can see people that came from completely and utterly different walks of life. One might have been in the armed forces, one may have run a business, one may have been a teacher, but if they've got something in common, and that's during the ageing process, there are challenges. Yeah. So if you can find something positive and rewarding that you can do together, and in our case it started with woodwork and carpentry, then that gives you permission to just have those tricky conversations and build relationships, because when people retire, you lose a lot of that camaraderie from the workplace.
You do. You do. Because your environment changes, doesn't
absolutely.
It? So,
and the pressures on you as you get older are many and varied and complex, and family issues, you know, can be a real problem for people. You know, families move away, your kids grow up and they move on. You can't assume that you're going to have a network of support, and yet we've now, sheds universally do provide like a new family.
So in relation to the word shed, when it started here in Broadstairs,
wasn't in a shed at all.
It wasn't in a shed.
No.
And were people building sheds?
The
Because
interesting
I know
thing
in
is,
Australia...
yeah, it was a shed is a kind of catch-all phrase.
Yeah.
In Australia, it was normally municipal halls. It
Right.
might even have been a pub.
Yeah.
I mean, the only people we say lose out from us having sheds everywhere now are pubs, because they used to be the one place where people would commune, but they can commune over something else that's a much more kind of positive thing to do. Not that pubs are not positive, because they're a lifeblood of any town, any village, whatever.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, it's sheds started and sheds will be whatever your community needs, and you have to respond to that community need. Ours started in what was the old DVLA building next to Piermont Hall in Piermont Park.
Really?
Yeah, we managed to secure a short-term agreement to be in that space, and we knew before we'd even done any work on the building, and it was in a terrible state. That was our first project. We knew it was too small, but when you build something like that, then you can move that, because you've then got an organisation that can just shift to anywhere, because it's an entity and it exists.
So when it started, how many people?
We managed
how did you publicise it?
Well, a kind of word of mouth, really. I mean, we were very fortunate in that we were given an opportunity when the lottery were offering a thing called People's Millions, where members of the public nominated a local charity rather than a charity going to the lottery for money. If there were a group that really needed a little bit of funding to set themselves up, you could run a publicity campaign locally and say, please vote for us. So, having worked in marketing, that was quite handy. Yeah. So we did a campaign where we said, this is what sheds are all about. We really think we could do with one here, because we've got a very fast ageing population. Yeah. Fast growing, rather. So we got our initial funding to buy a few pieces of kit and for materials to do up the building. I mean, it was a listed building, which is a curtilage to Piermont Hall.
So you actually worked on the building
as our project. That was our first baby. Yeah.
And that's a big project, isn't it?
It was massive, because it formed the heart of the concept of having a shed here in Broadstairs. And we are a town shed, not a men's shed. We've always been accessible to all, which I think is really important. That wasn't the way that the men's shed movement was at the time, but actually, each town has to make its own decisions.
Yeah, and I think it's important that everything is open to everybody, isn't it? It shouldn't just be directed at, say, men.
No.
Because
not all women want to knit, I always say.
No.
You know what I mean? It's like...
But not all men want to cut wood.
No, exactly that. Yeah. And we had, and I'll talk in a little while about the diversification that we've got, but it just grew like topsy, and people just said, what are you doing there? I mean, unfortunately, probably like you, Barry, people say don't stand too close to Kerry because you get volunteers for something. Because I'm wondering
what I'll be volunteering for at the end.
Exactly. I tend to try and engage people in what might give them joy and because you get massive joy from helping other people.
I mean, so there it starts.
We're about 6 or 8 people
building
up. Someone gave us a kitchen, a second-hand kitchen. We had to work with a listed building to put CCTV on it, because obviously we had materials in it. We also knew that we could not last there very long, because the demand was so big and it wasn't a safe space as we knew we were going to grow, and as we did grow like topsy, So then the next challenge was trying to find a building.
Right.
And we didn't really have any money. We didn't have money to pay rent.
Which is a challenge, isn't it? Yeah.
And one faced by so many community groups.
Of course.
Not just here in Broadstairs, but everywhere else. Mm. So I made contact with lots of estate agents locally and said, if you know anyone that's just taken on a big building that's got a little bit of space, we just need a little bit more space, that they'd like to support the community. And it was one of those things that, bless him, Terry Painter and James, happened that month to have sold a building next to what was the old DC Homewoods. Right. Which is, in fact, that whole building is the old Broadstairs Tram Shed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there were the inspection pits and stuff like that. Anyway, so Willow Winston, our saviour, and a kismet moment when we met her, she'd bought that building. She's a sculptor, an amazing artist and sculptor and practitioner. And she was looking for a community group because her family was steeped in supporting community and social philanthropy. So she was looking for someone like us. We were looking for someone like her. We met. Rest is history.
It all fell into place at the right time. So you were there at the right time. She was there at the right time.
And I asked the right questions. And, you know what it's like trying to raise funds. If you don't ask, you don't get. So, And that building, when we walked in, I've got film of us walking in and saying, "Oh, it's too big. We can't deal with this. It's just, how are we going to do this?"
Hindsight?
We did. And we struggle now because we are probably, because of the diversification into 5 days now, because our core days were always Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That was woodwork and carpentry. Yeah. That was all of it. So wood turning, making things, repairing things, doing things for other community projects. That was our core. And then lots of people, we like to listen to members and what they'd like to do, and there was an interest in art. Willow, also being an artist, was very interested in doing that. So we are now open 5 days a week. So Fridays are art, and that is for everything from a bit of pottery to line drawing to watercolour to painting outside. Lots and lots of activities related to art and needlework. Not needlework, because that's Mondays.
So it's a real diverse...
Oh, it's massive community space.
I didn't know that.
It's huge.
Didn't realise that it was...
Have you not been round?
I have been round.
All right.
I have been round, but I only went into a little woodworking.
Yeah, no, it's huge and it's full. And
so people come along.
Yep.
So say, first day new, I walk in, you're welcomed.
Yep.
How do you find out what people want to do? What would be their avenue to go down? Because that must be quite daunting.
They've got to want to come.
Yeah,
there are lots of... We get a lot of referrals from family and say, my dad's lost his wife or whatever, and granddad's finding it tough. And the first thing is that they've got to want to come. I mean, invariably what we say is come to one of our open days, have a look around first, see how you feel about it. Yeah. Then we do a formal induction, and that is that no matter whether you have been working on wood your entire life, and a lot of members join, we're 50 plus, that's the only rule. You might have been doing carpentry and woodwork your entire life, but you still need to make a bird nest box as a start point.
Is that what you do? Because you have to make a bird nest box?
Absolutely. I mean, it comes in kit form, but we have to, for health and safety reasons, ensure that people have and assess someone's level of ability, which a lot of people say, well, hang on, I've been turning wood for 40 years, but actually it's important because we've got these very important people that are called shed heads. Right. That run it on a day-to-day basis. There are 13 of them. They vary from one was an ex-Navy cook, one was a carpentry teacher, one was a set builder. Some ran businesses, some taught, lots of different things. But they are just kind of super volunteers. Yeah. And that they run the business, which it is a business. They have to run it in a safe manner. That's a safe space for people to work in. Because we have a duty of care to look after members.
So I've come in.
You've come in. We've said, Barry, come and make a bird nest box.
I've made my bird box.
One of our shed heads will be with you. You've made your bird nest box. You can take that with you.
So I've done that.
If you like it, then we say you can join as a member if you'd like to.
Really?
And by joining as a member, you can come 5 days a week. So you can come and do.
And where do people have to live to come to you? Is it?
No, we're Thanet wide.
You're Thanet wide.
I mean,
that's good.
There is now, in its infancy, a lovely shed in Ramsgate, right? Which has only really officially launched over the last few months. Well, I mean, we've supported them with all the things we've learned. I learned from other people. I went and saw 6 or 8 sheds. That's how I got into it. I'd heard an article about it. I went and found out what they did. People were kind enough to tell me what they'd learned, what was great, what wasn't, things to be mindful of. So I learned, and we have a duty in a way to keep that message going on.
And it needs to roll, doesn't it?
It does.
And grow.
It evolves so amazingly. Yeah. We were making it up as we went along at the beginning, but you just learn. You learn together, and then you pass that on. So there's one in Birchington. Yeah. We are friends. We've helped set up. We've given them lots of kit because we get donated amazing amounts of equipment. Oh yeah. As people pass away, if someone was really into woodwork, they want their dad/granddad's to go somewhere that's going to be loved, and it's loved and it's used. And so there's one in Birchington, one in Minster, and we've been friends of theirs right from the beginning, which is lovely. One in Sandwich. I think there was one in Sandwich, I'm not sure, but our members come from the whole of Thanet.
I don't know if you can, but could you give an example of somebody who's, obviously no names, somebody who's come in who's really low, needs I know the perfect person to be involved, and what it's done for them.
Yeah, the perfect person is actually someone who's incredibly brave, I think, about it, because he talks about it all the time. A chap called, I'll use another name. Yeah. He wouldn't mind me using his real name, but I'll say he was called Paul. Yeah. He had family that had moved away. He had lots of very tricky health issues, and was very isolated and lonely. And of course, we kept going through the pandemic, which was tricky, but we managed it. So Paul, his name, came to us and was very, very low. Was on antidepressants, and frankly didn't see the point in carrying on.
Really?
Yeah. And we've probably got very, very low. We've probably got 3 or 4 members that were. We've got lots of people who are not on antidepressants anymore, which is fantastic.
And is that because of coming along?
Yeah. Because you've got camaraderie, you've got friendship, you've got a reason to get up in the morning, you're helping the community. That's the other thing. It's
somebody you can sit and have a cup of coffee with.
Have a cup of tea, a bit of cake.
Yeah.
But also you feel like you're contributing something back into the community again, because when you do stop working, it's like, is that it?
Yeah.
What now? It's like, I'm supposedly retired, but, so are you.
Join the club. Yeah. So Paul came along.
He came along, and it's just transformed his life. And he would happily talk to you about it, because he's gone on record, and he's given us lots of quotes that we've used to share those sound bites, the difference it's made to not just his life, but the life of his family and friends as well. They see a difference in him. And we've probably got, 20 or 30 examples of people for whom it's made such a significant difference in their life. That it's transformed the way they view, life. Some of our members are in their 90s.
Yeah. How's it make you feel?
I feel unbelievably proud.
Yeah.
And I can't. I do it, like an old Mr. Grace. You've all done very well once when we have our gathering, Yeah. And I can't not cry when I say thank you to everybody. Because
it's quite strange, because I used to I was chairman of a national charity.
Yeah, I know you were.
And if I didn't want thanks, nor did my team, but if one person said thank you,
I know.
That's your job done, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You know that you've changed somebody's life.
And in turn, you can make change to someone else's life.
Exactly.
That's the point. It's the paying it forward of the positivity that being part of any volunteer group, frankly. I mean, Broadstairs would be on its knees were it not for volunteers groups, and I'm sure you know because you're interviewing everybody. But the enrichment it brings to your life, the joy, the new friendships, the laughs that they have. I mean, honestly, it's just fabulous.
And you also mentioned the fact that it's sort of become a business, hasn't it, now? Because people are experts there now, aren't they? They make amazing things.
Oh, yeah. Amazing. I mean, we really straddle that business / social enterprise quite carefully in that I think you have to. You do, because no one must feel like it's a business. Like, I know we could make lots and lots more money by making stuff if we made 50 of it. Yeah. Now, most of our members don't want to go back to work. They don't want to be on the treadmill of manufacturing it. It's not a business. Yeah. And if you do want to go and buy something like that, you go and buy something off the peg that's been made abroad. These are handcrafted and hand-restored and upcycled things that just make a huge difference.
And your members are there for a purpose.
Yeah, they are.
They're there.
Multiple purposes, actually.
In fact, multiple.
For themselves, for their families, for the community. Yeah. And when we do a community-based project, which we have to be very careful with because we can't take work away from local businesses.
No.
And there are a lot of people who make their living out of working with wood, but we kind of fill a different gap. And we've got a lot of very regular, let's say, customers that come to our open days and say, well, what's the new offer this year? I've got a penguin, I've got this, I've got that. And that loyalty is...
But don't you find local businesses like what you do?
Yeah, they do. And we get amazing support from local businesses.
Yeah.
Whether that's donating prizes for our raffles, whether it's offering... there are a lot of companies that deal with timber that have offcuts. We get given so much wood, which is fantastic, but we could always cope with more if anyone's listening to this.
Of course, yeah. Definitely.
So engaging with businesses and engaging with the local council, town council, saying, what can we do together, is really important too. But it's what the members get out of it. Yeah. And you need to, if you spoke to 6 or 8 of them, you'd get very similar experiences and very similar kind of outtakes, but you'd also get a lot of personal things.
What would you say to somebody who's, say, listening today to encourage them to come along?
Okay. For a lot of people, just getting the foot over the threshold's a big thing. We're very fortunate in that we've got Debbie, who's our coordinator. She's very good at spotting when there's someone in the doorway thinking they might come, or we might have had an email from someone saying, I think my granddad would like it, and our first thing would be to say, have you asked him?
Yeah.
Because
sometimes people need to be asked, don't they?
Yeah.
Because they need that, and that may spur them on to go, I'm going to give it a go.
So I suppose ultimately what I'd say is, don't be frightened. It's incredibly approachable as a set of friends, co-workers, whatever, however you want to call it. It's its own family and community, but it's always got room for more. And the cohort changes because we had a lot of people join us very early on that hadn't had IT experience in their working lives.
Really?
So therefore, at that time, we had lots more IT classes. Whereas now we've got people that have joined us who've got a lot of IT skills, and we've now been able to do not just wood turning and regular carpentry. We've got a CNC machine. In fact, we're expanding that. And the guy that joined us who's got amazing expertise in it, now his most desirable thing is to teach other people.
Really?
So everyone that comes along has an opportunity to learn about CNC engraving and laser engraving and, all the things that tech can add to traditional woodwork.
So what started as woodwork,
yep,
as like you said earlier, has expanded into pottery, has expanded into lots of different areas.
And well-being at its core. I mean, so well-being, whether that's, we have someone come and talk to us from the RNIB, for example, which I know is something, close to your heart. But we also have someone come and talk about prostate care. They'll come and talk about your legal rights if you've got issues to do with that. We'll talk about how you can learn more about mental health support you can get locally, or if you've got someone in your family that's neurodiverse, where to get support of that for that. We have a regular slot now where Citizens Advice as an organisation set up shop.
Really? So
within the shed. So it's a space that we use for a myriad of different well-being activities, and that might be health checks. We can have blood pressure and check people who are reluctant to go to the doctor, and
so that comes to you,
comes to us, and
I'll get mine done.
Might be feet care, it might get hearing, lots and lots of things.
Really, you're doing a whole body experience, aren't you?
Yeah, it's about your physical and mental health.
Yeah.
There's Tai Chi, there's now a music group, there's a felting group, there's a writers group, there's a journaling activity that happens as a part of our Makers Mondays. So that mops up all the things that actually aren't what people perceive to be our core woodworking and carpentry activity, which is at our heart and will always be.
Do you feel you need bigger premises now?
Well, it's quite a tricky thing to deal with. Plus, the thing we have to really maintain is that it doesn't feel that it's bottom up. That's the most important thing. That's why the shed heads are so vital, because if they don't want to do it, we don't do it. I'm a volunteer. We've got 3 part-time staff, but we will not go. We won't say, what you need to be doing is blah. We ask. It's like, would anyone fancy it? Or here's a suggestion, here's a bit of paper. Write down the things, whether it's calligraphy, whatever, And
do your members come out with suggestions?
All the time.
Why don't we do this? This would be good.
Tai Chi came out of that.
Yeah.
Journaling came out of that. The music thing, we've got, in its infancy, we've got a music, people come along and just busk or whatever,
Why not?
It's their space.
Yeah.
It's our community space, so it can be used for whatever you want, within reason, and as long as we can adhere to health and safety, but it will evolve. And as to a bigger space, I don't know, that's quite a scary prospect.
I bet it is.
Quite big already.
So, from talking to you, you're obviously extremely proud of everything that's
Couldn't
happened.
be more proud.
And the team as a whole must go there every day and just think, this is good.
I know. The support they give each other is picking people up from the hospital appointments as well, checking in on someone that's just come out of hospital. All the stuff we did during lockdown.
So it's actually extended away from the shed.
Oh, yeah. It's much more familial than that.
Yeah.
I mean, during lockdown, we all met within an enormous circle up at Palm Bay on folding chairs and kept our meet. Oh, yeah. Just to keep that contact going, For a lot of people, they don't have a conversation with anyone all week.
And the other thing is, in fact, you've touched on that there, that for some people, this is the only thing they may have. And that's their thing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And it keeps them involved, they meet people.
Yeah. And they in turn do their own groups of getting together. There are people that now swim together once a week. There's a group that goes out to the cinema. There's another group that play petanque. But they do that on their own time. They go and, because they've met other people, they've got friendship groups within it. And that's nothing we had anything to do with it. All we did was create a space, a welcoming, safe space with equipment where people can...
something just sprang into my mind. I'm thinking back to the film The Long Good Friday. Where Bob Hoskins says to raisers, from little acorns, and it's true, isn't it? From little acorns.
Oh, yeah. From an idea that I heard, and obviously parked somewhere in the back of my filing cabinet of a brain, on Radio 4 about men's sheds in Australia. And Willow, who's our wonderful benefactress who owns the building, she heard the same article. So I didn't do anything about that for a long, long time. And that thought obviously planted itself there. And when it was appropriate, and we, and I knew a bit more about Broadstairs once we'd lived here for a while, that knowing how few things there were aimed at specifically older people, they're a minority in any other name, really, and ignored quite a lot of the time. So actually, they've got a lot to teach us.
Yeah. I did not realise the extent of what it covered.
We didn't plan it.
You didn't plan it?
No, it evolved.
It's just happened.
Yeah, you've got to let it evolve and be something that people want. There's no point in us doing top-down, you will do this, you will do that, because it's not going to work. People won't come back.
No. It's all about what people want, isn't it?
And we get amazing support from so many local businesses. Like one of the knitting groups raised some money and bought us our first tea urn. Someone does a quiz once a month. And all the money raised gets given to us.
And they can buy tools, equipment, anything, can't it?
Dust extraction systems to make sure that the space is safe. Making sure that we service all of our alarms, all those things. It's quite a dangerous place. So rules in place are there for a reason.
Health and safety. It's got to be, isn't it? And especially when you've got people who may be, say, a little bit older and are not used to some machinery, and you've got other people who just come in and they
we have a badge system.
Oh, you have a badge?
Oh, yeah, with different colours on it. And you are not allowed to use a particular piece of machinery unless you've had your formal training on it. Oh,
really?
Yeah, so if you want to go and use one of the bandsaws, which is, that'll have your arm off, you've got to prove that you have to go through the process. So it's constant. And the great thing about the shed heads is that they spot when people are struggling. We've got people that cannot use machinery because they had strokes many years ago, but they have their own role within it. They, by their own admission, but also by our tutelage, wouldn't use a dangerous piece of machinery, but they look after the other stuff, which is important. Every role is important.
And you touched on the fact, like diverse, and the fact that you've got people from all aspects of the community, and that includes people who've got disabilities, as you mentioned.
We got a blind member. Yeah, who brings his dog.
You've got that whole spectrum of people, and then being together. What do they do? Support.
I know. There's no barrier apart from you. It's
exactly.
Everyone is welcome, and 50 plus, because actually you need to have some kind of parameters within which you operate, and those are the people that need the most support and help. So.
No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Oh, well, it's wonderful. And
lots of people know about it, don't they, here?
I mean, people are still finding out about us because, not everybody has access to social media.
No.
And there are not local newspapers anymore. So trying to get our messages out. In the early days, we used to do, we used to take the gazebo out and give out leaflets and all that. And all the doctor surgeries are aware of us. So we get referrals from doctors.
Social media is a fantastic way of getting everything out there, but it can be the opposite, can't it?
So lots of people are information poor still.
And you've got to use it correctly as well, which is so important.
And we've had great support from local online newspaper and local BBC radio, etc., etc. They come down quite frequently.
Oh, really?
And what's so brilliant is that we've won a lot of awards now. And those awards are an absolute testament to the time, the love, the dedication, and the skills that all of our members share with each other.
So you've got trustees?
Yes.
Patrons?
We don't have patrons. We haven't got a patron scheme. I kind of think that everyone, whether they give us a tenner or whether they give us a lot more or a lot of wood, are patrons in their own way.
That's true.
And I think that we've tried to stay incredibly flat and not be hierarchically driven. It's got to be bottom up still. I know I go on about it, but it's true because there are so many organisations that don't succeed because someone who doesn't really understand.
In fact, there's more that fail than succeed.
There are a lot of sheds that are no longer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because someone decided in their infinite wisdom that they were going to teach people how to do it. It's about commitment
from the people who run it, like yourself, and the people who are there.
Yeah. Because
they make it grow.
Oh, yeah.
Or
they'll say, enough. We sometimes have to halt membership inductions, Wow. We don't like turning people away. It's not.
What do you do with the bird boxes?
The bird boxes you take with you. That's yours to keep.
It's yours to keep. Yes, I love it.
But we make a lot of other things, a lot of other products for other people. So, hedgehog houses, or we've done a lot of projects with local schools. Yeah. And we love doing cross-generation stuff, but obviously that brings with it its own challenges. Yeah. And we tend to try and do as many things as we can within our building, not go remotely and do stuff. But we have done, and we will still get on. We're making a huge lighthouse at the moment for someone.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, not full size, but
I hope not.
It's for a festival. I feel bad. I don't know what it's for, but there's this enormous lighthouse being made, and that's for a community group.
And the other thing is, you're based in Broadstairs.
Yes. There you are.
What do you
part of Broadstairs life?
Exactly. Oh, very well done. A nice plug. What do you love about Broadstairs?
The location, the people, the commitment to community, the willingness to collaborate. I love where we live, physically where we live. I like to be able to see the sea. Yeah. I'm very proud of, what all of the amazing groups do here. I think we are held by a lot of other nearby towns as being an amazing example of how community makes a difference. You've interviewed people, you will interview loads more people who give their time and their knowledge and their skills and their love to projects to make Broadstairs even nicer than it already is.
So if you had to say to somebody who was thinking, where should I go today? What would you say to them to encourage them to come down to Broadstairs?
Hurry up.
Hurry up.
Its charm is always going to be there. It will evolve. It has to evolve. Any town has to evolve. But it evolves in the right way with people who love it, care about it. Yeah. So what's keeping you from coming down, I'd say.
Exactly. And when you look at how the festivals are developing,
unbelievable.
It's just growing every year.
We're a tourism-reliant town. We don't have any industry, really, apart from tourism. So, therefore, anything that we can do, and all of the things that all the other people you'll talk to from the festivals encourage people and showcase what we do, and are very proud of what we do. And that's contagious.
Yeah, it is contagious. Yeah. I do agree. It is contagious. Well, finally, if somebody wants to come along and join the shed...
Yes.
How can they do that?
They can check out our website first if you have access to the internet. If you don't, then ask somebody that can help you. We're in the old Broadstairs Town Shed, which is opposite what people might know, which is on the loop, handily, opposite the Cabin Cafe. Yeah. You can drop Debbie an email. You can check out our website, drop us a note via our Facebook page. Yeah. And if you don't have access to that, then ask someone to look out for it for you. Lovely. I mean, we tend to have stalls at various things. Elizabeth at Bleak House has offered us another stall. We've had a stall there.
Really?
Yeah. So
brilliant.
So we don't make a lot of money from our stalls, but it's all about getting the message out.
Yeah, and people see the fact that you're here.
Yes.
And then when they learn what you can do and how you can help somebody, they may have somebody who needs help.
Yeah, yeah. And everyone who comes to visit or comes to live here brings their own set of skills and knowledge and experiences, and that melting pot of skills is just unbelievable.
This is a town of skills, isn't it? Phenomenal amount of skills and knowledge and expertise.
Yes. And collaboration.
Oh, yeah.
And, when you're looking for funding, and it's hard, it's a hard landscape out there in the third sector. Yeah. If you're looking for funding, you've got to show and tell the truth about the fact that we're all much stronger working together.
Can you sum up the shed in one word?
Oh, love.
Love, like it. Brilliant. That's good.
Okay.
Kerry, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
You have absolutely enlightened me about the shed.
That's good.
And
come and see us, everybody.
Anybody who wants to come along,
they're welcome. And we are having, I can do a plug, because we have our spring open day. We do 2 big open days a year, one spring/Easter and one at Christmas, where we make lots of wonderful wooden things, and now our art group make things to sell to help support keeping the shed going, because it costs us quite a lot of money, but it's worth every bean, but it means we have to work hard at getting funding.
Lovely.
So look out for our ads for our open day, and come along and bring a friend. Lovely. Come and have a cup of tea, and at Easter we'll have our spring day, we'll have free hot cross buns.
That's even better.
Yeah.
That's a big incentive. Kerry, thank you very, very much.
You're very welcome.
Really enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you for listening to Broadstairs Life. You can follow us on Facebook and various other social media platforms, including YouTube. Thank you for listening.